Hello everyone and welcome to the very interesting and exciting webinar in Careers Convergence in Design Management Trials and Opportunity by Deepti Pant. So Deepti is going to help us know some very interesting facts about things like what is design management, what are the career options, and how we can take the career forward in this domain. I hope my voice is clear enough. In case it is not, I will request all of you to please type question in the question box. So Deepti will start the webinar, and towards the end of the webinar we will take a small question hour session where I will request all of you to type the question in the question box. Over to you, Deepti. I hope all of you please listen and be part of this webinar in a very interesting manner.
Design management. People are extremely confused about where this field has come from. This field came in the beginning of 19th century when industrialization was happening, and organizations and army itself was also facing problem in managing creative people or engineers and industrial people, so to be able to give far more benefit to the business and the wars that were happening. And then the concept of design management came in, to be able to drive creative thinking in business, to be able to manage creative people in business, and to be able to bring more creativity in business. Because that was the time when predominantly most innovations and inventions were happening. And that is where the genesis of design management is. Taking that forward, I will come to various definitions of design management. What is design management? Design management predominantly is a bridge between design and business. What do we mean by design? Well, we mean by design something which is being created with a plan and a strategy and a consumer base in mind. Design does not mean something fashionable, aesthetics or styling. Design is function-oriented products and objects and services. So that is where design management comes in. When you are looking into creative management of these particular concepts, then design manager is required. Design manager is about communication, is about business side of design, is about developing new business models for the future, is to reshape an entire brand or a marketplace. It is also about identifying new opportunities. If any one of you have read Blue Ocean Strategy, you will understand what I am talking about. So that is what actually the larger value of design management is. Then we look at the where design management drives its energy from. It drives its energy from design thinking. It drives its energy from innovation, from research, from branding, and from multidisciplinary approach. A designer thinks first about future, that what in future is needed by his consumers. Then a designer thinks about what to innovate for them. And then parallelly he is doing research. He is also exploring the business side, the change side, the how will his consumer change. And that is where the design thinking comes in. And when we are looking of managing this entire thing in a strategy and within a management setup, then we say that you are a design manager. You might not really be a designer, but if you are thinking to look at future, look at strategy, and look at being creative all the time, then you are a design manager. You might not have heard of the word, but then you are design manager in a context. So what is design management then? Design management in a larger is a design team leadership. It is about design development. It is about engaging the customer by defining what he exactly wants. Designing is about having the commercial control over customer needs, understanding that. It is also about integrated design planning. So what does design management do? If you do a program like design management, then look at the kind of careers that open up to you. You can become a head of a design team because you know how to lead a design, you know how to use a design in the strategy, and you know how to look at design from the marketing and a corporate leadership point of view. You can become a consultant. You can become a customer engagement person at the marketing level. You can become a process controller. You can become a design planner. You can also In industries like advertising, you can have an account planner or a commercial control. So design manager and design management offers you a larger game in the entire domain of corporate strategy and future leadership. To put it in a graph, design management talks about giving a direction to whatever you are planning. What does a marketing team or a sales team do? They sell products, or they sell new ideas, or they sell the ideas. Where do these ideas come from? They come from the design table. This design table need not be of a designer, it could be of an engineer, but they come from the table which has been thinking innovatively, thinking new products, and thinking futuristically. And that comes with the realization that you need to keep renovating your products for a consumer. You have to keep re-looking at your products so that your consumer remains interested, and you have to keep re-energizing your strategy from the level of how to engage customer more and more. There are various fundamentals of design which are like ergonomic, user understanding the consumer, understanding where the consumer wants to go. Then second is communication, where you are taking what you are really communicating to the consumer. If you look at Microsoft and Apple, both of them more or less are doing the same thing, but look at what they are communicating. The design language is different. And third comes the management, that how you are managing this entire game at a level of marketing, distribution, and revenue. And design management gives you all these three perspectives together with a focus on user interface, on customer engagement, and on future scenarios. Careers. So what does this can result in? A lot of people ask me about that, I'll tell you, when I did my design management from NID, I also was wondering what really will it will throw in. But as I progressed, I was also in advertising. I was looking after design research. I was looking after trying to understand consumer user experience, trying to give them more experiential answers. I was also working at strategy as strategy managers. A lot of my students later on, when I got into education, are now working as strategy managers in advertising industry, in research industry, in production industry as well. If you're a designer yourself, then what does it give it to you? If you are a designer yourself, it gives you creative leadership. You know how to look into future and create new products. You know how to engage marketing and strategy people to be able to look at your ideas and fit them in a strategy, fit them in the longer game of the corporate and the organization. Third, you can actually look at the tools of prototyping, storytelling, sketching, and be able to engage your design team to give you what the strategy wants. So design management in a way encompasses all these three things. And you can join as assistant brand manager, you can join as assistant marketing person. Because you know all three sides, the tools, the business, and design, you can be a project manager. Well, because you know the business side of design, you can be an entrepreneur. If you're a designer yourself, it helps you to put things in perspective of a corporate strategy, of a brand management, and of what an organization wants in future. Educational pathway. So if you're a designer and you've done a diploma or a degree in design, how does design management fit in? You start working, you enter as a design professional, and then what happens? You do your design management program, and there you can enter as a design manager in any corporation. When I say corporation, I mean companies like advertising, research, production, even manufacturing companies are hiring design managers, and also larger FMCGs, and also pure innovation companies like Sony and Samsung, they have their own design managers. But if you're a normal college grad, you work for some time and you do a design management program. So what do? Primary domain where you'll be hired will be as a manager in design consultancy, because you understand design and you know how design fits in the larger corporate strategy. But later on, you can be absorbed in research companies, in management companies as well. If you have a university degree, if you're a PG and you have worked and you are a design management person, so what you can become? You can become a design entrepreneur because you have that kind of an experience, a larger experience, and you have an experience both of the tools of design, the tools of engineering, plus you know how to use design and design ideas and design thinking into a larger entrepreneurial setup. So these are the primary pathways. But these are the primary pathways. As we go along, I have been seeing that there are a lot many other pathways are coming. Lot many of my students and my juniors and I also, we have also worked in research companies, because there is a very strong pathway in design of design research, of ethnographic research, which gives you a very deep insight into how to do research, how to explore research data, and how to come with the strategy from there. Second is strategy by itself. So because you understand strategy so deeply that you can actually become a strategy manager. Third is innovation professional. A couple of my students and my juniors have actually become innovation heads in companies like HP and Infosys. So the pathway of this design management is varied. It depends on what you are interested in, and depends where you are coming from. Design management course at Pearl Live is a very, very comprehensive course, because it gives you an insight into the design process, into design strategy, into managing designers, as well as implementing design holistically. Plus, it also introduces you to the basics of design fundamentals. So this was predominantly the design management course at Pearl Live is going to teach you, which will be encompassing everything about design management, starting from being a design manager, to understanding the strategy, how to use design in a strategy, what is design process, how to manage it, and also to understand the design implementation done in various domains of corporate strategy and business. So this program by itself is extremely comprehensive. It is going to make you understand design and design management in a far more larger and a holistic way. Plus, it's going to introduce you to design thinking, and that is how it is going to make you a creative thinking and an innovation professional as well. So this course is an extremely, I would say, a complete course in the area of design thinking and design strategy, helping you take your next career leap. Strategy management of organization becomes very important here, and that is what this particular course deals with in detail. So many people who do not have strategic understanding of design, they will be introduced to this through this course, and that is why I made a separate slide on it, so that you understand that the strategy becomes extremely important when you are trying to understand design management, and that input is deeply embedded in this curriculum. Any questions? I'm ready to answer all your queries.
Hello everyone, do we have any questions? Okay, generally, Deepti, here are a few questions which some of our interested candidates were asking over the time. I know you have explained in detail about the career opportunities and how we can take design management as an interesting path in our career. But some of the people want to know, and this is for the benefit of those who have joined our webinar slightly late than the scheduled time. We would like to repeat what are the career availabilities and options as a design manager. Is it only for a design-based person who has a design understanding, or it can be equally valid for a non-design person?
I'll take your last question first. It is equally valid for a non-design person as well. In fact, technically I was a non-design person, though I was doing amateur photography. But I was a non-design person. Then I did this particular program. It is later on I developed my skills in the area of design. Second, the various careers that you are asking in advertising, you can enter as an account planning person. You can enter as a head of design in companies like Samsung, LG, where you can enter as design manager. Then there is a very interesting position in various research companies of a design researcher, which becomes very important because you know fundamentals of visual design research, ethnographic research, and trend research, which is only taught in this particular domain. So that career becomes open. Companies like Quantum, AC Nielsen hire design researchers. Third career is as brand manager, A lot of companies I have seen of late have started hiring design managers and assistant brand managers. And that is why the Pearl Life program becomes very relevant, because it has got a deep focus on strategy. Because design managers come with a focus on the strategy as well as design thinking. So that is why they are looking for brand managers who know about corporate strategy, who know about brand management, plus who know about design thinking.
Okay, that's great, Deepti. But just there is some other question by the candidate, like how this particular course in design management going to be different from any other normal course in management, because a management thinker also gets into strategic thinking and planning. So how different this course is going to be?
Corporate, when you're doing an MBA program or any other BBA program or a management program, then you talk about fundamentals of management and you're taught about strategy, right? But when you're looking at design management, you are taught about creative ideation. You're taught about how to look at design more as a tool to think and look into future. You're taught about design more as a tool to be able to develop answers for consumers. Then design management talks about customer engagement. And most importantly, design manager talks about innovation, how to keep your company continuously innovating for the future.
That's great. That's great, Deepti. There is another candidate who would like to know, who has done engineering and would like to know whether this course is helpful after engineering. Is there any kind of correlation which we can draw out of that?
Engineers in a way, if you look at it, they are closely related to design. Because engineers also create things,
okay.
Designers also create things. Okay. So we personally, designers, we do not de-link design and engineering. But I think if you do not mix design with styling, design is not styling, design is not aesthetics, it is about function, it is about taking a product to a next leap, it is taking any service to a next leap. That is what design is all about. And that is what engineering is all about, to creating new things. So I don't think there is any confusion here. But yes, to answer this query, this becomes a very interesting course for any person who has done any kind of a program like engineering, like BBA, like design, because you can enter both in design studios as well as into management scenario with this particular program. Whereas with an MBA, a domain of innovation and design closes for you. So that is where this becomes very important for you.
Okay, do we have any other question? We can type it in the question box. Yeah, thank you so much for joining the webinar. We will share the video link with all of you. Thank you once again, Deepti, for sharing the insight in design management domain.
Thank you so much. Thank you.